Think your Toyota battery is toast and you're about to drop $200 on a replacement? Hold up right there. Before you hand over your hard-earned cash, there's something every Toyota owner needs to try first. A simple reset procedure that could bring your dead battery back to life and save you from an unnecessary purchase. I've been working on Toyotas for over 15 years, and I can't tell you how many times I've seen owners rush to replace a battery that wasn't actually bad. The truth is, most battery problems aren't battery problems at all. They're system issues that make a perfectly good battery appear weak or dead. Here's the part nobody talks about. Your Toyota's electrical system is far more advanced than most people realize. Sometimes all it needs is a proper reset to get everything communicating again. These modern Toyotas have smart charging systems and battery management modules that monitor voltage, current, and usage. But when those systems get confused, maybe from a voltage drop, a jump start, or even a short trip pattern, they start sending false readings that make you think your battery's finished when it's actually fine. If this kind of real-world Toyota advice helps you, hit that like button and subscribe. I share insider tips every week to keep your car running longer and save you money. And if you know another Toyota owner, send them this video or post it in your favorite Toyota forum or Facebook group. This one could save them hundreds. Drop a comment too and tell me your Toyota's year, model, and mileage. I see every comment and love hearing what you're driving. Now, picture this. You go to start your Toyota one morning and nothing. Maybe it cranks slowly, maybe it just clicks, or maybe the dashboard lights up like a Christmas tree. Naturally, you assume the battery's dead. You either jump it or rush to the parts store for a new one. But here's the catch. In many cases, the battery's perfectly fine. Your Toyota's computers can hold phantom electrical loads, throw false error codes, or interrupt the charging cycle altogether. These electrical gremlins trick the system into thinking there's a dead battery when in reality, there's just bad data stored in memory. The good news? A proper system reset often clears it completely. To understand why, you need to know how your Toyota's battery monitoring system actually works. It constantly watches voltage, current flow, and charge cycles. Over time, it adapts to your driving habits, how often you start the car, how long your trips are, even how much power your accessories use. But when that system holds corrupted or outdated data, it begins making the wrong assumptions about your battery's condition. Think of it like your home computer. When it freezes or runs slow, you don't replace it, you restart it. This is the same principle. Resetting your Toyota's electrical system clears out bad memory, reinitializes your sensors, and allows the modules to relearn from a clean slate. But before you start the reset, you need to handle the basics first. Pop the hood and check your battery terminals. If you see white, blue, or green crusty buildup around the posts, that's corrosion, and it blocks current flow like a wall between your battery and the rest of your car. Grab a wire brush and clean those terminals until they shine like new pennies. Make sure the connections are tight but not over-tightened. You don't want to crack the posts. Believe it or not, cleaning alone fixes what looks like a battery failure more often than most people think. Next, inspect your battery cables. Look for cracks, fraying, or swelling along the length of both cables. Pay close attention to where the cables connect, both at the battery and where the negative cable grounds to the engine block. That ground connection is critical. A loose or corroded ground strap will cause weak starts, flickering lights, and dead battery symptoms even with a healthy battery. While you're at it, take a look at your alternator belt. If it's loose, cracked, or glazed, it's not transferring power properly. A slipping belt can cause undercharging, draining your battery every time you drive, and again, making it look like the battery's dying when it's not. Alright, now for the reset procedure itself. This works on most Toyotas built from 2005 to today, though the exact steps can vary slightly by model. The goal is to completely clear stored electrical memory and allow your systems to relearn from scratch. Start with the engine completely off and all accessories turned off. No radio, lights, or chargers. Remove your key and make sure all doors are closed so the interior lights go out. Next, disconnect the battery, and always start with the negative terminal first, then the positive. Once both cables are removed, don't just walk away and reconnect them right after. You want the system to fully discharge any residual power. Here's the trick most people don't know. Take the two battery cables, the positive and negative, and touch them together for about 30 seconds. You're not shorting the battery here, you've already disconnected it. What you're doing is allowing all stored energy in the capacitors and control modules to drain completely. Some Toyota modules can hold power for hours or even days after the battery is disconnected. Touching the cables together forces that residual electricity to dissipate instantly instead of waiting. Once that's done, reconnect the battery. Positive first, then negative. Make sure both terminals are tight, but not over-tightened. Before starting the engine, turn the key to the on position for 10 seconds without cranking. You'll see warning lights flicker on the dash as the system reboots and modules reconnect. That's your Toyota running a self-check and building new baseline readings. Now, don't panic if things act a little strange afterward. The idle might be rough for the first few starts, the transmission might shift a bit differently, or your fuel economy readings may seem off. That's all part of the relearning process. Over the next 50 to 200 miles, your Toyota's computer will recalibrate everything to current conditions. This simple reset has saved Toyota owners, including some of my own customers, from spending hundreds on new batteries they didn't need. And it can work for you too. Before you even think about starting the engine, turn your key to the on position without cranking it. Let it sit for about 10 seconds. You'll probably see a few warning lights flash across the dash as each module wakes up and begins communicating again. That's normal. It's your Toyota running a self-check and rebuilding its electrical baseline. Now go ahead and start the engine, but resist the urge to rev it. Let it idle naturally for at least 5 minutes. During this time, your engine control module is relearning idle speed, air-fuel mixture, and throttle response. Meanwhile, the transmission control module is recalibrating shift points and relearning how you drive. Your first drive after the reset should be calm and easy. No hard acceleration, no high speeds. Take it around the neighborhood for 10 or 15 minutes with gentle throttle and braking inputs. Your Toyota is essentially reteaching itself how to behave like your Toyota. Every sensor reading, voltage adjustment, and system load is being recorded and stored as the new normal. Once you finish that first drive, park the car and let it sit for at least 30 minutes with the engine off. This gives every module time to store those new learned values into long-term memory. When you restart, you'll likely notice smoother idle, more consistent throttle response, and quicker system communication. But here's the important part. If your battery is physically weak, damaged, or sulfated, this reset won't bring it back from the dead. What it will do is eliminate false readings, phantom drains, and computer confusion that make a healthy battery seem bad. It's like cleaning the lens before deciding the camera's broken. Let me share a quick example. A customer came in last month with a 2018 Camry that was cranking slowly and flashing battery low warnings across the dash. Every voltage reading looked terrible. He was convinced the battery was done. After running this exact reset procedure, that dead battery tested perfectly healthy, over 12.6 volts, full cranking capacity, no issues at all. The real culprit? A poorly installed dash camera that was drawing constant current even with the car off. That small parasitic drain confused the car's battery management system, throwing false warnings. The reset cleared those false readings, exposed the real issue, and saved him about $200. And that brings up another critical point: phantom power drains. Every Toyota, even when turned off, has small power draws that keep systems alive. Your alarm, radio presets, clock, and security modules. That's normal and accounted for in Toyota's design. But when something draws more power than it should, like a stuck interior light, a faulty door sensor, or aftermarket electronics, the drain can kill even a brand new battery. Here's how to test for those parasitic drains. With everything off and the vehicle locked, disconnect the negative battery cable and connect a digital multimeter between the cable and the negative post. Set your meter to read milliamps. After 20 minutes, once all the car's modules go to sleep, a normal reading should be under 50 milliamps. If you're seeing higher numbers, say 150 or 300 milliamps, start pulling fuses one at a time until the reading drops. When it does, you found the circuit causing the excessive draw. That's your phantom drain. Fixing it could save you from replacing several batteries over the years. Now, let's talk about something that surprises a lot of Toyota owners: your alternator. It doesn't just recharge the battery, it also powers every electrical system in the car while the engine runs. If it's weak, undercharging, or overcharging, it can either drain or damage your battery. Testing it is simple. With the engine idling, measure voltage across the battery terminals. You should see between 13.8 and 14.6 volts. Lower than that means your alternator isn't charging enough. Higher than that means it's overcharging and cooking the battery from the inside out. Sometimes alternator issues aren't mechanical, they're electronic. The voltage regulator inside the alternator can get confused by bad data from the electrical control system. A proper reset often restores its normal behavior without replacing any parts. Short trips are another hidden Toyota battery killer, especially in winter. When you start the engine, the starter motor draws hundreds of amps. If you only drive 5 or 10 minutes, the alternator doesn't have time to replace that charge. Repeat that cycle day after day, and your battery slowly weakens. The fix is simple. Once or twice a week, take your Toyota for a longer 20 to 30-minute drive, ideally at highway speeds. That gives the alternator time to fully restore the battery and keeps it in peak condition. If these tips are helping you keep your Toyota on the road longer, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I post new videos every week with practical, real-world maintenance advice that saves owners serious money. Temperature is another major factor that most people overlook. Cold weather reduces chemical activity inside the battery, making it harder to produce the amperage needed for starting. Hot weather, on the other hand, accelerates internal corrosion and evaporates electrolyte fluid, weakening the battery over time. Your Toyota's battery management system tries to compensate for temperature changes using built-in sensors. But when those sensors send inaccurate data, or the memory gets corrupted, charging behavior goes out of sync. A proper reset can recalibrate those readings and bring the system back to normal operation. After completing the reset and driving for a few days, you'll know your battery's true condition. If problems persist, you can replace it with confidence knowing you've ruled out system errors. But if the issues disappear, congratulations. You just saved yourself the cost of a battery you didn't need. And for those of you driving Toyota hybrids, this reset can be especially useful. The 12-volt system in hybrid models doesn't start the engine directly. It powers the computers that control the hybrid battery system. When those systems lose calibration or develop corrupted charge data, they mimic weak battery symptoms. Performing this reset often clears that confusion, restoring normal operation without spending a dime. For Toyota hybrid owners, this reset is even more important. The hybrid system has its own internal memory and learned parameters that can become scrambled by voltage drops or electrical glitches. When your 12-volt system and hybrid control modules stop communicating properly, you'll see a flood of warning lights, reduced power, and all the signs of a dying battery, even when both systems are perfectly healthy. Here's the wild part about Toyota's electrical systems. They're running thousands of calculations every second, adjusting fuel trim, voltage output, and charging cycles based on dozens of sensor inputs. When one of those sensors starts sending bad data or a memory file becomes corrupted, the system doesn't just malfunction in one area, it cascades. Suddenly, you've got multiple warning lights, random fault codes, and what feels like a catastrophic failure. I saw a 2016 Prius last year that looked like a total disaster. Battery light, check engine, hybrid system warning, everything lit up. 3 different shops told him he needed a hybrid battery, a new 12-volt battery, and possibly an inverter. The total estimate was over $4,000, but after walking through this same reset procedure, every single warning disappeared. That Prius has been running flawlessly for more than a year now, not a single part replaced. That's the power of understanding how Toyotas actually work. These vehicles are computers on wheels, and like any computer, sometimes the solution isn't replacing hardware. It's just clearing out the digital clutter. Now, here's something even experienced mechanics overlook. Toyota's battery management system doesn't just measure voltage and current flow. It keeps a running log of charge cycles, temperature exposure, and discharge depth. Over time, that stored data can cause the system to misinterpret your battery's actual health, tricking it into thinking an otherwise healthy battery is nearing end of life. The reset clears that historical data, giving your Toyota's electrical brain a clean slate. This is especially important after any electrical work, installation of aftermarket accessories, or long periods of inactivity. And speaking of inactivity, this one catches Toyota owners constantly. You park the car for a week or two, come back, and the battery's dead. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Modern Toyotas have dozens of modules that need to enter a sleep sequence when you shut the car off. If something interrupts that sequence, even something small like a door not fully closed or a Bluetooth module still awake, those computers keep drawing power all night. The reset procedure forces every module to power down completely and then reboot in the proper order. It's the automotive equivalent of turning your house off at the breaker panel and flipping everything back on one circuit at a time. Let me give you another real-world example. A friend of mine has a 2014 Highlander that started losing its charge after getting a new stereo installed. The alternator checked out fine, the battery tested fine, but the issue kept coming back. Instead of paying the dealership to dig through endless wiring diagnostics, we performed this same reset first. Turns out the stereo installer tapped into a constant power line instead of an ignition-switched circuit, creating a small but continuous drain. The reset cleared the computer's false battery fault and made the real problem obvious. We rerouted one wire, spent about $10 in materials, and the problem was gone for good. That leads directly into another major takeaway. Aftermarket electronics change the rules. Remote starters, dash cams, LED light kits, sound systems, every modification changes how your car's computers interpret current flow and voltage stability. If you've added any new electronics and suddenly started seeing battery issues, the first step should always be the reset. It eliminates false assumptions and rebalances the system's expectations. Here's an insider tip very few Toyota owners ever hear. Your car doesn't stop learning after the reset. Every time you drive, every charge and discharge pattern, every accessory load, it's all recorded and analyzed to fine-tune future charging behavior. It's an adaptive learning system. But if that system learns bad habits, like constant short trips, low voltage conditions, or incomplete charge cycles, it will start compensating in ways that actually reduce battery life. The reset breaks that loop, wiping out bad habits and letting your Toyota learn fresh, healthy charging cycles. Combine that with better driving patterns, longer drives once a week, fully charging the system regularly, and you can easily stretch a Toyota battery's lifespan from the average 5 years to 8 or even 9. I've seen it happen firsthand. The bottom line is this. Before you spend your hard-earned money on a new battery, try this reset first. Clean the terminals, disconnect the cables properly, touch them together to drain residual power, and let your Toyota's computers start from zero. Then drive it calmly for a few days and watch how it responds. If this simple procedure brought your battery, and maybe your faith in Toyota, back to life, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and share this video with another Toyota owner. You'll be saving them real money and helping them understand how their vehicle actually works. Your wallet will thank you, and so will your Toyota.